What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold, post-commentary shenanigan action, and today we're going to be talking about Odin. Odin is the forgotten child, to some degree, of the Norse pantheon. You've got the powerhouse Thor and Loki with that four-setter. You've got Freya being its own beast in of itself. But I'm here today to tell you, Odin's got some stuff to start throwing at people. And you don't have to be so scared about the whole thing, or so, like, standard even. He's got his own flair, he's got his own style, and I'm going to talk to you about it. I'm here to present to you early favor strategy. This is stuff for not just Odin. Thor can do it, Loki can do it, Freya can do it, Freya can do it. Still can't remember. I haven't decided how to pronounce that word, that god. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Early favor strategy. So what are the options here? Odin gets two gods. We've got Freya and we've got Heimdall. So what we're going to be doing today is Freya, but this definitely has some angles with Heimdall as well. But it's probably more for a team game type thing or very specific matchups to go for Heimdall stuff. Anyways, we're going for fast Valkyrie shenanigans, but it's not just fast Valkyrie. It's also, you know, fast Dizablot, or it could be even a fast, what's it called? Thundering Hooves. So there's three really big techs. You can go for fast Sesrumnir as well, but I don't really see the point in that. Nonetheless, we're going to go fast Dizablot in this game because we don't have that much favor to grab. And you have to ask the question, well, how do I get favor as Norse if I have to fight for my favor? Well, the answer is we use our villages. You can't use your town center. If you use your town center to shoot an animal, you don't get the favor. If you use the villages to shoot it, you get the favor. You can see I have one favor right now. I believe I've killed 3 deer. You get half a favor for a deer, and I did accidentally shoot one of these deers with my town center, so I've lost half a favor, which kind of can bite you in the bum, or kind of bite me in the bum a little bit. Not the worst thing in the world, but nonetheless, the other place you get favor is from chickens and goats. So I've got favor there, and we're going to go that way. So I'm playing against Thor here, and my thought process is, okay, if the Thor player is going to go for a Dwarven Armory opening, he's going to be advancing late. He is going to be inside of his base, and we want to be attacking him as fast as possible to punish the fact that he is getting up to the classical age much later than he realistically should be, right? Like, this is important. So we're going to advance for a 4-minute advance time. We've got 4 on wood, 4 on gold, and 7 on food. That's 4 dwarfs there as well. The build order, you know, it's pretty stock standard. I think it's the same build as everyone is doing. I don't really want to go through it, but you can just follow the video along and try and copy it down if you like. But nonetheless, we're now coming over to the chickens and going to start shanking everything down. And we're going to also shoot the rest of those gazelle, as I decide in this moment that it's not enough favor, and it's time to just go for not a fast Valkyrie, but for fast Dizablot. Now, this is the technology for your Valkyrie to make them hit much harder. And what does this actually do? Well, basically, it makes your Valkyrie kill off a villager in 3 hits rather than 5. So this means your opponent has to react really, really quickly to keep the villagers alive. And if they don't, then they will lose them. And I imagine at most levels of play, this is going to be really, really powerful. At the very, very top level of play, players might be quick enough to start noticing this stuff, but I definitely think that most levels of play, you're going to find success getting early Dizablot. So don't feel like you have to go for the double Valkyrie angle. You can go for the early Dizablot and enjoy that, as I'm scouting around here trying to figure out what to raid. As I haven't seen anyone on wood, unfortunately, that's what I wanted. I will head over. He's got a Hersa here. I don't want to play with that. It's about advance time at the moment. I don't trust the like 30-second or 15-second marks for my opponent's advance times. He could have pre-queued anything and just advanced then. In hindsight, I could have stuck through, taken a couple of whacks from an archaic cursor and possibly killed the villager there, but I didn't want to take the risk, so that's fine. I've got my upgrade. I've got my Valkyrie being very threatening. He also went through Freya here, so now I'm a little bit scared. Him going through Freya means he's got a Valkyrie he can send to me, so I have to send a Herso back home. But nonetheless, checking into his base, and the obvious forest fire here is on the front. Now, realistically, forest fire is a god power which I think is a little bit misunderstood by a lot of players, and therefore it's not really had any update to its usages from a lot of players. And what I mean by that is people are looking for damage with a forest fire. I'm not. I'm looking for strategic angles to attack. If I open up my opponent's base here with this forest fire, I hit the gold mine. I also make the forest that he can actually go and chop are a lot worse, and here you can see Dizablot being awesome. I picked off a villager and I run straight into the Ursa, which was really, really stupid. I should have ran the other way out the back of his base there, but yeah, that was a really, really bad thing, and now my Valkyrie is hurting. So I got one villager kill, fantastic, but yeah, now my Valkyrie is sad, so I got to be even extra careful. I don't want to lose this. I will be getting myself another Valkyrie at some point in this game to heal my initial Valkyrie. There's never ever is there a reason to lose your Valkyrie in the Norse Mirror, or in most matchups. There's nothing that can chase it down and kill it, with the exception of an enemy Valkyrie. So yeah, there's no excuse to lose it. Just take damage, go back, heal it up, take damage, go back, heal it up. So that's what your goal is. Nonetheless, one thing here that is another way to gain favor. We talked about villagers killing food. Another way to gain favor is to get your army to kill food. So all of these gazelle on the front of Minietti's base, I'm not playing this well. I should have just killed all of that with my army there. And now you see my forest fire is working overtime here as I find his wood villagers on this side, and we get a whole bunch of villager kills, and we just run away from this after that. No sense in staying there. Maybe you could argue Minietti should have been on the other side of the wood, but his villagers were on the chickens anyway, so I would have had something to attack in that moment. As now I can get my next Valkyrie out, and I can start looking to heal up, and we'll be good to go. So, from this moment, I've basically equalized on villager differential. Let's say he's grabbed 4 army upgrades. I've killed 4 villagers, so we're equal on that. I've got the advantage because I'm playing Odin in terms of economy. So the next part that I need to sort of catch up on, so to speak, before I have a significant advantage is military, so armory upgrades and things like that. He's looking for attacks here. I wouldn't be 100% sure that he's actually in front at the moment in terms of military. I see his raiding cavalry popping off to the right-hand corner here, and I'm going to try and cut this off. He does not actually end up moving out here, but a nice play from him. This is something here that you can use with the Ravens. Ravens are really, really good. I think they're really, really bad because they get picked off in an instant. Like, whenever I'm playing against Odin and I see someone setting a Valkyrie, and I will actively hunt that thing down and kill it. I know how useful vision is to Norse, and then I know that if I kill it off, then I don't have to deal with it for 4 minutes, and a lot of players also forget about the respawned Valkyrie that comes after 4 minutes, because it's such a long time. But nonetheless, the Valkyrie sitting there on that gold mine is really, really big for me, and I don't really want to move it anywhere. So we're going to look for, we should be continuously looking for more raids, and now I'm fairly confident that Minietti isn't going for any raid. I can just pop back and look for something else here. We have to start setting up for gold mine and making sure we're nice and safe there. The one thing that I don't think I have down yet is an armory, which definitely would help. But nonetheless, from all of this early game pressure from these Valkyries, from these raiding cavalry, I've succeeded in everything that I wanted. I've restricted the Thor, I've restricted Minietti's Thor from leaving his base. I've restricted him from getting onto hunt, and he is in a lot of he has a lot of difficulty right now dealing with what's happening. But this doesn't mean that I've won the game or not. I still have to take a really good fight. And you know, if I don't take a good fight here, it's going to be pretty bad. One thing here to be on top of is making sure your Valkyrie are attacking the right units, which I don't think I was quite ready for here. And my Valkyries aren't really killing the right thing, but it's a good fight nonetheless. Mini Yeti is bringing villagers in to get involved. I don't mind this. I'm more than happy to sit here and take this fight, especially with Dizzleblot, Valkyrie, Shieldman, Valkyrie there attacking the villagers. As long as I got my throw and axe and attacking the right units here, we're actually okay. So in the end here, we trade, I would argue, equally, but we kill off a whole bunch of villagers. So now we can just repopulate, sit back, allow our villager advantage to get us a bigger advantage, get our Valkyries back out, and sort of call it a day, so to speak. So yeah, the next part after winning that, or going equal on that fight, is apart from just building dudes, is getting more infrastructure. So whenever you're playing Norse and you win a fight, whenever you're playing Norse and you get a good raid, whenever you distract your opponent, just make sure you get an extra building down, you know? One of the easiest ways to throw a position is to not have the buildings to spend all the resources you're getting in. So it's always worth it just to be putting these down as the game goes on. And winning a fight is always a way to find those advantages. Nonetheless, a little bit of a push off here. Still just trying to pick off villages, but we've definitely asserted a very significant advantage here now, as Mini Yeti has to move back into his main base. Not sure if he did click Dwarven Mine or not. Yeah, I think he already did. So this means he's got no gold mine in his main base. He's got no gold income now, and things are looking really, really good for us. As yeah, all we have to do now is just check all the other gold mines and make sure he's not sneaking anything, and we're good to go. And here's the armory now. After I got him pushed off that gold mine, I'm feeling very, very comfortable to spend resources on the armory upgrades. I grabbed a villager to put houses down in my main base because I am a little bit breaking my own rules, so to speak, in this game of don't put houses on the front. I had a Herser in my main base that in my brain, in my mind, I was like, I'm going to use that to put my houses down, but then I sort of forgot about him. So do as I say, not as I do. Put the houses in your main base. That way there's no real risk if you actually do end up losing a fight for you to actually just straight lose the game. It gives you an extra chance to come back because your opponent's going to try and pick off your whatchamajigits, your long houses and your great halls, and you're not your houses. So you're going to be able to keep building the answers that is happening. Now, at this point, we're just trying to get up to full population here. I don't really think Heroic Age is super necessary. If I can click it up, there's no problems there. All this food in the bank here after this fight is going to go into Valkyries, so there's never a bad moment there for us. As yet again, Mini Yeti has to bring villagers into his fight, and I am very, very happy with this. I see that he's got a ton more Valkyries than me, which is a little bit like he controls his Valkyries maybe a little bit better than me. So that means I have to get some Herser out. No real problems there to create those. And yeah, we're just getting so much favor in to spend all of this food in our bank, and this is really good for us. So yeah, the basic premise here was, you know, we get this early forward temple, we get this early upgrade, which is really, really good, and it just starts to snowball an advantage for us. We managed to get a good raid. If we didn't get that raid, I think life would have been a little bit more challenging, but there's still going to be more opportunities to raid for the entirety of the game. But yeah, it was a nice little idea with the Dizzleblot. So definitely give it a try in your games with Odin. We'll move into the next game, and this next one is a bit of a different one, and I think I think it really, really touches on a whole bunch of different concepts for Norse against Egyptian that I think are really, really important. Okay, so now we're going to be going up against Mini Yeti's set here. Mini Yeti's set, I haven't really seen a whole lot of it, but what I will say is he is going to do something that I've done before. So I'd say I'm fairly well versed with set. I play a lot of him. He's my most played god. Even though I'm playing random now, at the start of Retold, I was playing a lot of set because I was having fun with him. But yeah, it's difficult god to actually make work, but if you know the ins and outs, you can be very, very powerful. Now, next part here is when you're going for these favor strategies with Odin, you have to know what is possible, how much favor you can get from certain animals. The town center at the start, unfortunately, will always attack. I tried to delay it as long as I could by microing my villagers. But if you can't, it's not the biggest deal if you don't get the first hippo killed completely. But yeah, you want to try and delay that hippo from attacking your villager for as long as possible, so you can get as much damage done onto the hippo to get as much favor as you possibly can. I believe there's 4 favor in each of these hippos. So if I manually kill all 3 of them, I get 12. I have 4 here, so that's 16. It might be 3 favor, actually. I'm not sure. Anyways, 3 or 4 favor. You look at the chickens on the back there. I've got a bunch there, so I can definitely get myself out this second Valkyrie. And why is it so cool? Why is it so good to go for this stuff? Well, the reason is because it means I don't have to care about watchtowers or town center or pharaoh even or priest. If they're sitting there and defending, normally with just one Valkyrie, I say, hey, I can't do this. I can't attack this position. It's not good. It's bad. Let me look for somewhere else to attack. With 2 Valkyries, I say, that was a really, really bad blunder on my build order there. I'm not sure exactly if I just box clicked that or not. But anyways, if I got 2 Valkyries, I can say, hey, I've got about 10 seconds I can sit here while the Pharaoh is trying to kill my Valkyrie. As long as I don't lose the Valkyrie, it's all good. Which then means, all right, I can charge through. I'm going to start poking. I'm going to maybe get a villager kill. I'm going to run back, and then I'm going to heal. And I can do that over and over and over again. You do have to be careful. You do have to know the places where you can attack. And you have to respect what your opponent's got when they've got something. So having a nice understanding of how much you can get away with these Valkyrie is going to be really, really important. So yeah, whatever happens in my build here, I screw up. I want to get my 4th dwarf out as well. I'm going to put an extra villager over onto food. We've got a little bit of, I think it was just a wonky build. Something weird happened. I don't know what. Don't worry about it. Just do the normal one. A 4:15 isn't the end of the world anyways, but obviously you want to get the faster response if you can, because it means your Valkyries are going to be in your opponent's base earlier, which means more potential damage. Anyways, we're going to advance. We've got 1 more hippo to kill. We've got all those chickens to kill as well. And you just have to bring 1 villager. Now the unfortunate part of it, to some degree, is you can't shift click it, I don't think. Maybe there's a way to like click the chicken to kill it, then shift next to it, then click the next chicken. I don't know. I don't think you can shift. I don't think you can shift click it. So you have to do it all manually. So it does take a good chunk of seconds there, but there's nothing else going on, so no problems where that's concerned. And okay, so now the next part here is, all right, what's the strategy? There's 2 set strategies that you have to watch out for. Set strategy number 1 is going to be the big fat classical fight, always terrifying. The second strategy is a fast second town center. Now, if I'm not going to touch on the first strategy of the big fat classical fight, just on the fact that that's not what we see here. But the second strategy is the fast second town center. So what do we have to worry about against that? Well, the big thing we have to worry about is when your opponent goes Tar and shifting sands onto you. Or in this case, goes Anubis and clicks snakes and then runs at you with axe. So I want to ensure that I've got the answers to all of that before I put my second town center down. I don't mind getting a little bit of a later town center here. I just want the pressure as much as possible. And I'm not even going to try and deny that town center at the top with all the animals there. Arguably, I could probably run up there and get a villager kill or 3 and then run and heal. Arguably. And it's probably the right call. Probably is the right call. one little marker for where your opponent's gold is normally going to be where the temple is. I should have known that and just ran around straight away, but get some idle time here. A significant amount of idle time there, actually, with 6 or 7 villages idled while your opponent's going for a fast second town center. Any bit of damage here is gigantic. So, yeah, that's the thing. Anyways, we're just going to run around his base, and like you can see here, I really don't mind losing this HP. I'm going to pull back here away and heal up, because I've done the dash, and let me get back in there and then do it again afterwards. So now I know he's on 2 town centers. I'm going to look for my own second town center now. I basically just go Herso raiding cavalry. I'm not looking for an insanely quick second town center with like berserks or throw an axeman or anything like that. I just want to make sure that it's defended and that he can't do anything to stop it. So yeah, that's the big scary part against Set, and you want to avoid that loss condition pretty much. Nonetheless, here now we have raiding cavalry, and the other thing is with 2 Valkyrie as well. Now we can also get very aggressive with raiding cavalry in our own opponent's space. If we lose HP on these bad boys, we don't mind. Yes, we've got the Odin regen as well, but we can just run into our opponent's base, take a little bit of damage. As long as you don't lose any guys, it's fine. If your opponent wants to turn around and attack you, no worries, take it. Micro back the units that are getting low HP, heal them up, and then continue. Nonetheless, we are managing to sneak around into Mini Eddie's base here, and I haven't brought up Forest Fire just yet because I completely ignore my own rules here that I've been trying to follow with Forest Fire. You can't play perfect every time. Forest Fire is a god power that I want to use to set up to gain access to my opponent's base and force them into positions that they can't defend easily. So where is the Forest Fire on this map? Is it in the main base? Well, not really. He's got a town center next to a forest. He's got another forest down the bottom side of the map, which is protected by 2 towers. So I basically need to burn 2 forests here to actually block him off stuff. So this hometown center is not it. I don't think this hometown center or this home base is going to be worth forest firing. Where there are forests worth burning is at the bottom of the map. I have to really foresee a long game to happen in this one to actually see this. There's a forest down the bottom where there's a town center there. If I can burn that forest, I can actually run past the town center and actually raid my opponent. And there's also potential for that top forest behind his second town center to be worthwhile burning later in the game. But right now, not really of that much importance, as I get a little bit of damage, run away, and here's where I waste my forest. My thought process in the moment was I can burn this side, so at least I'm going to have more of an entry in onto the base there, but realistically speaking, there's nothing there to attack. I mean, there's chickens, so maybe I could have got something, but there's really nothing there to attack, so I don't see the point. Basically, his main base is off limits now after he started to get units out, and I have to be a little bit more careful, a little bit more like disciplined with where I send my units. I'm still going to be looking for raids. I don't want him to be on that back gold mine, for example, here. I don't want him to be on any sort of forward hunt anywhere on the map. I'm going to look to try and get around onto that gold mine. One thing that I've started to incorporate into my gameplay is really trying to stay out of line of sight of my opponent until the very last minute. I think all the good players are doing this. So what does that mean? Well, it means right now on his forward base, there's a little bit of an opening here, where right where my units are, I'm okay. There's an obelisk there, so there is no opening. So I'm not going to be able to get through here, and I have to pull back and find a different way. So where's the other way? Well, it's up and around the side of my opponent's base here, so I'm going to try and pull up and around there. You notice I moved way outside the obelisk line of sight, making sure I cleared that, and then we're going to go for that right up the top. So all of this sort of position that we're in now, 2 town centers, kind of, I would say we're not in front on villages, but we are definitely not that far behind after all the kills we've got and all the idle time. In fact, our economy is probably quite nice here. Because of that, I feel like we're actually in a really good spot, and we can just start thinking about going to the next part. The next part of the game is I'm scared of like an Ancestor's timing attack, so I'm going through Skadi. I'm not looking to go through Njord here. I don't actually think Njord is a really good option for Odin in this specific matchup, because you're always going to be getting greeted with Horus here. If the set player goes for Thoth, you should be happy as the Norse player. They're never going Thoth. It's always Horus. So don't worry, you're going to be more wanting to have access to Frost Giants, and more specifically, the upgrade for your food, Winter Harvest, and also your throw an axe and having a little bit of extra range on that Huntress axe. So those techs are much more important. Just like help stay out of range of slingers, for example, or chariot archers, and all that other good stuff. So you can actually pick off those really beefy classical barracks infantry units in the Mythic Age through Horus. So yeah, we're setting up for that. And also, I already mentioned it, but Frost Giants are actually quite nice. I think people undervalue these a little bit. They're great for stopping myth units like Scorpion Men or Avengers or Anubites or anything like that. So and they're costing gold as well, which is something that you're obviously going to have quite a lot of. A nice little raid from him here. I wasn't expecting to see anything up there, and he manages to find it. If he sent a whole bunch of units there, actually would have been really bad for me. So I got lucky. As I see him trying to set up on this Ford gold mine. If I can deny this Ford gold mine, this is huge, because this means I can grab the town center behind it. So I'm really wanting to, at the very least, prevent him from getting a Migdol stronghold nice and close to my to that town center, because it's Megalopolis. 3 versus 4 town centers is not something that I feel like I'm going to be comfortable winning as Odin here. So I definitely don't want him to be here, and I so don't want him to be here that I am prepared to push forward and drop Frost before he even uses Answer. So behind this, I've got to queue up a whole bunch of heroes. I've got the food in the bag. I queue the heroes up. Those are going to come in very, very handy to deal with the ancestors. And I get Sesgrimnir as well, just to ensure that we're not going to die. One big thing here is that Minion doesn't really have any axemen out, so that's great for our Hursars to do their job. And we can come in here and surround. And people often ask, why do you attack the Frosted units? You're not really doing much damage. You're right, you're not doing much damage, but it's not about that. It's about getting the positioning on the army so that when they unfreeze, you're getting the perfect amount of damage, and they're not. So there's going to be units here for him that aren't going to be attacking. There's the ancestors. My Hursar will be wandering over here. I have to pick off the Scorpion Men, but yeah, well, Ancestors is probably one of the worst god powers in Heroic Age god powers in the game right now by itself. It's pretty good for that Ancestors Eclipse, but by itself, I don't really think of it much as a god power. I don't even know what the best usage of it at the moment is. It just always feels underwhelming. Not that I feel like there's really any need to make it any stronger. Maybe there is, but just by itself, it's a bit underwhelming. But we do manage to finally control this position, and this is the big moment where I think most Norse players sort of go wrong. Most Norse players have spent many years, especially legacy players, have spent many years playing against Egyptian, getting into winning positions, and then losing games because the Egyptian player's army is just too strong, or was too strong, and you just couldn't break through all the buildings, and eventually they just get to the late game and beat you. In Retold, it's not exactly the case. You know, the Egyptian army versus the Norse army, I think it's kind of similar in strength to some degree. Like, you know, the Norse army is actually pretty weak still compared to, say, the Greek army. But against the Egyptian army, I think the strength is kind of similar until the Egyptian player gets the Mythic Age and Horus comes in and things start becoming a little bit tricky. But the point is, there's no like real rush to kind of end the game. So running in and trying to really capitalize on a small advantage that you've gotten by half winning a fight, that's where you lose games a lot. So what we want to do here after winning that fight is get our upgrades. You know, put our town centers down, get some more buildings, some more infrastructure. At the moment, I've got 3 great halls and 4 longhouses. This is not enough when you're playing against Egyptian. Egyptian only needs like 5 or 6 barracks, and they've got all the production in the world they need once they get levy. And we have to buy levy twice, and they only buy it once. Obviously, they have to buy it for the Migdol as well, but that's not the point. For the barracks, which is the most important units, they only need 1. And they can counter our entire army with just that barracks. Anyways, town center in the middle to get grabbed, and I'm giving him that bottom position, and now you can see why I sort of kicked myself saying, man, I should have saved forest fire. There's another forest fire here that is a potential cleanup of a weakness for me, which is on the forward forest in front of my town center. There's a world here where Mini Eddie can get mythic age, get towers set up, get walls set up on that forest, and start catapult sieging the town center, and there's not going to be much I can do about it. So another really big forest that could have been held for at the moment, but nonetheless, we have now got ourselves all our town centers. We've got ourselves kind of set up. It's time to get hill forts. One of the big units that you absolutely need to beat chariot archers, which I know that Mini Eddie is building. I've seen them already. You might think that raiding cavalry work, and to some degree they do in certain situations, but in the situation we're going into, which is going to be actually trying to actively fight the chariot archers, and fight the chariot archers in their defensive position, the raiding cavalry don't really work that well. It's much better to get yourself out hostile, and I'm going to be trying to grab them as we push forward. We see all these spearmen have to pull back, and I mean, we've got enough throwing axemen out at the moment already, so those spearmen aren't that scary. But yeah, now we have to respect the chariot archers a little bit. We've got our hill fort to retreat back behind. I don't retreat all the way. He's cleaning up a lot of units here. I don't particularly like this one bit, and now he can go after my villagers. So we have to take a fight a little bit earlier than I might have liked. But nonetheless, he's kind of out of position, so we can charge in and get something here. Our raiding cavalry are pretty quick, so maybe picking off 1 chariot archer or something is going to be nice. Realistically, right now, what I want is to force him back and get up another hill fort in this position so that he can't do that again. That's the big important thing. On top of this, I'm looking at his position going, all right, I've gone 4 town centers, he went 3 town centers. I am arguably a tiny bit in front on resources, but I don't think I'm enough in front to get the 4th town center, get the population to go to full pop, so spend the resources on those military units, and chase him to the mythic age and get there first. I think he's going to hit the mythic age first, but I don't think I'm that far behind him. I don't think he's hitting the mythic age right now. I think he's going to be close to like a minute or a minute 30 from now, maybe clicking up very, very shortly, or maybe already have clicked up. So my idea here is, all right, let's just try and attack him really, really hard right now to get some damage done, so that when his power spike comes, which will most likely be tornado, it could be meteor, but what else is he going to do after the meteor? I don't care. It's probably going to be meteor. So once the meteor comes in and most likely cleans up my army, what am I going to do? Okay, if I actually get damage done onto him, then he has to like kill a building or something, like a town center here. Then all of a sudden he needs to rebuild the town center. If I can draw off a Migdol, he has to rebuild the Migdol. So I'm looking to just get some serious damage done. I got the Huskarls out to dive onto the chariot archers, the portable rams are going to be more than enough to take out the town center. If your opponent doesn't have the units here to defend, all of a sudden the builders will go very quickly. I'm trying to kill off these Migdols. One big thing about having siege weapons is if you put them in the front of your army and the chariot archers get their attack moving, will be hitting the portable rams, which means they're not doing a whole bunch of damage, which is always nice. So just continuing to try and get that damage done, and try and keep ourselves at full population. even with the 4 great halls and 6 longhouses and a whole bunch of hill forts, I actually still don't feel like I've got enough infrastructure. I would have loved to have like 2 more great halls after. We kill the Migdal, and I get what I wanted done. I killed off 2 buildings. He has to rebuild those. He's going to click tornado. My army decides to sit here and basically die. And I go, well, that sucks. That was a throw by me. I shouldn't have lost that many units. But at the very least, we got the damage done to mean that he's not going to be able to push insanely hard at us. And, well, we'll be okay. The other thing that's really good for us at the moment is we've got the whole top of the map sorted out, and our Winter here is going to be killing off his economy right now, so he's not going to be able to get all of his armory upgrades right now, or all of his line upgrades, as well as putting up his town centers and all that stuff that he's going to be sort of struggling with at this exact moment. So this is completely fine for us. Whenever you lose all your army, you know, just fall back, re-macro. It's the way that the game works, and it's something you just got to get kind of used to. So now the power spikes are off the table, and all the good stuff here. He's got himself champion chariots. I'm just going to be going for fundamentals here, get my armory upgrade, my economic upgrades out first, and then we'll look to get our heavy infantry in. We've got champion cavalry, which is really nice. Part of me wishes I had Sons of Sleipnir at the moment to kill off all these chariot archers, but I absolutely needed that Winter to get economic damage done. And here that Frost Giant is coming in clutch. I don't have any heroes to kill off the Avengers, and even if I did, with good micro, honestly, I don't think the heroes for Norse can deal with Avengers very easily at all. I feel like you kind of need the Frost Giant, or like Jarls or something like that with Ringgiver. And now we can get some raids, pull back. I feel like I'm in a great spot. 4 town centers, having done economic damage. The big weakness right now is in whether or not Mini Yeti's army can sustain itself, get to fully upgraded Horus, and then actually beat my army, which sounds crazy. Like, it shouldn't really be able to, but that's the power of Horus. I do think it's very, very good against Norse. So we still have a little bit more work to do here. But I think with our army composition and smart play, it should be okay. One move here that he can do, which is scary, is going into mass spearmen with the Horus Spear, cleaning up all of my guys. So I'm just making sure that I've got all the throwing axe when I need out. And also starting to get some siege to start pushing forward. So whenever you've got the advantage, you can get some siege and actually push. Whenever you don't have the advantage, do not be building siege. Basically. If you don't, and if both players don't have advantage, neither player should be building siege. It seems to be the way the game works. And what I mean by an advantage is military advantage. So if your opponent might not have a military advantage, but he's going to spend all their resources on tech. So definitely get siege in that position, right? And then pushing forward here, taking down the Migdal stronghold. We're losing a lot of units to do this, but in killing off the Migdal stronghold, we open the position up. He can't get any more chariot archers out over here. One thing here that I worked out later on, after the game, is that Fenris Wolves are actually really good. Playing right in this moment here, I wish I had 3 temples up to spend this 100 favor. I know the game's over right now, but I wish I had the favor, the temples up, to just spend it onto Fenris Wolves. I could just go for Valks here, but I think that the Fenris Wolves are better than Valkyries at this stage of the game, even upgraded Valkyries. But yeah, so that's all my ideas in this with this Odin God. I do think that this opening is, one, very fun because it gives you some tools in the early game to get serious damage done. And 2, with really good play, it's guaranteed damage. I don't think that there's a player currently that can not sustain something from this. They're going to get idle. You're going to force idle time. You're going to run through there constantly. And these Valkyries, they never fall off. They're always useful. They never, as long as you don't lose the units, then they are always useful. So building them, not building them makes no sense. So just grab them as fast as you can, and then full send. Nonetheless, if you guys enjoyed this this little post commentary action, Leave a follow, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.